Is the prosecution finally moving in on Lori Vallow? Bryan Kohberger has women issues. Early release doesn't work out so well for some. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, everyone. My name is Scott Reich, and this is CrimeTalk. Thanks for joining us. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Like if you do. Leave me a comment below and hit that little bell so that you receive notifications when we go live or put up new content. And remember, let's support the people that support CrimeTalk. Go to crimetalksearch.com, sign up for that background subscription service. Remember, you can cancel at any time, but while you have that subscription, you can do as many background searches as you like. It is literally generated while you wait, and that report is going to be emailed to you, and it's going to have information about where somebody lives. Are they employed, unemployed? I don't know. Do they have some criminal history? Are they one of those public registries? Yeah, you're committing dating malpractice if you just do a quick Google search of somebody. Find out what they don't want you to see. Go to crimetalksearch.com. You'll be happy you did. Let's go ahead and open the docket today for April 24th, 2023. First, is the prosecution finally starting to move in on Lori Vallow? And I say that because, well, there really hasn't been anything new. Yeah, it's weird. It's unbelievable almost that somebody could believe in this cult thing, but people believe in cults all the time. I get it. But when are they really going to get to who killed J.J. Tylee and Tammy Daybell? So far, it's kind of weak. And let me tell you, when I was out there last week, kind of the rumble that was growing there in the room was that a lot of people were kind of getting worried the prosecution may not get a guilty verdict. It is not overwhelming. The prosecution has had 3 years for this case. And so far, you think they'd come out with a little more bang, so to speak, of kind of the proverbial smoking gun. Nothing yet. All right. So what happened today? We know Lori's sister, Miss Sumner Shiflett, has appeared. And she was with her husband, and Summer Shiflett is also with her uncle, a guy by the name of Janice Cox's brother, and his daughter. Now, Mr. Archibald shook Miss Summers' hand when she arrived in the courtroom. Apparently, Lori then glanced at her and her family, and guess what? Miss Summer are sitting in the rows reserved for the prosecution, not sitting on the defense side. Now, the jury probably doesn't know who that is or what the significance is, but I can tell you, a jury does notice when there is nobody for the defense in the courtroom at all. Now, as you may recall, Ms. Shiflett was permitted to sit through the courtroom testimony because she was allowed to be Tylee's representative for victims' rights purposes. Now, Detective Stubbs, who was on much of the stand late last Thursday, returned to the stand, and he was continuing to describe the searches that he has done as it relates to the 3 units. Detective Stubbs described how police searched the 3 units associated with Lori at the Rexburg apartment complex, Lori's, Alex's, and Melanie's. Now, Detective Stubbs said inside Melanie's apartment, officers found binders full of several credit cards belonging to Melanie and her ex-husband, Brandon. Detective Stubbs said that several electronic search warrants were prepared in regards to Lori Vallow's case. Ultimately, there were 20 searches done on Lori Vallow's electronic devices. There were some other warrants that included Google accounts that were searched. Detective Stubbs says that there was a large amount of data. There was a return from those searches, and because of the size of that data that was given to us, for example, by Google, they had to distribute it among himself and several other investigators to sort through it and figure out what exactly was there. Warrants were issued for Lori Vallow's Verizon, a bill that had 18 phones associated with it, and the account was in the name of Lori Vallow. Detective Stubbs said that a lot of stuff was left behind when Lori Vallow left her apartment. The landlords went in to clean it out and found several abandoned phones inside the unit as well. They were turned over to the police, and Detective Stubbs said that there were email addresses associated to those phones. One was raylamar@gmail.com and Homer J. Maximus @gmail.com. Both email addresses belonged and came back to being associated with Alex Cox. Now, Detective Stubbs says that they requested the phone companies perform a live, what they refer to, trap and trace search of phone numbers associated with Lori Vallow, Alex Cox, Tylee Ryan, to see if they could, in fact, determine their location. A trap and trace is basically, it's kind of like a list to see where you're being contacted, what cell phone tower they're using. You're not listening to information, but you're getting the relevant cell phone data that the cell phone companies actually save and use for engineering purposes, not for law enforcement purposes at all. Now, Detective Stubbs said that 2 of the phones traced to Kauai, Hawaii, that is, and he says that 10 other devices were found inside Lori's rental car when officers located Lori in Hawaii. They seized all those phones as well. Now, Detective Stubbs says that when the items were seized out of the car in Hawaii, there was a notebook containing a whole page of email addresses and phone numbers as well. Police issued a warrant for each of the email addresses, and a warrant was issued for the children where they were found and buried in Chad's house. The goal of this warrant was to get very specific readings of all parts of the property in relation to cell phones pinging, is the way the detective described it. He worked in conjunction with the FBI on those particular warrants. Detective Stubbs then testified that he wrote a search warrant to get the geolocation data on the cell phone, which contains hundreds of thousands of records. And the detective said he wanted to know every device that could give us during a certain time period or time frames on key dates so that they could see additional devices that were moving or common with those particular locations on September 8th and 9th and on September 22nd and 23rd, which is the times that they believe that the murders actually occurred. Now, one device had the commonalities during these specific days, and guess who it belonged to? Alex Cox, who everyone has kind of conceded is probably the guy that did the dirty work, so to speak. The got his hands dirty. Detective says that after the occupants of the apartment left in haste, the officers tried to get a hold of Lori and Chad. We all know that. The next thing for them was to try and figure out where, in fact, they were back in December of 2019. That's where Hawaii comes in. Now, the prosecutors asked in regards to who owned the Homer J. Maximus account. The detective, as I noted, said that it was Alex Cox. Alex Cox is Lori Vallow's brother and now deceased, and also killed Lori Vallow's last husband prior to Chad Daybell, Charles Vallow. And police found in that search history other data tied to him to that account, so the police were quite confident that that was his account. Then they had Lori, and then the number 4, style at iCloud.com, and lollytimeforever@gmail.com. Those emails both associated with Lori Vallow. A Gmail account belonging to Chad Daybell was apparently also searched. And when they switched to talking about the Lollytime email account, he said that back in August 25th of 2019, the user of the account looked for malachite wedding rings and wedding rings made of malachite. The user ordered that on November 5th, ring size a 4.2, and the total amount was $808. Now, this apparently caught the detective's attention because Charles had died in July, and Chad was still married to Tammy. So the detectives were all thinking it was a little odd for them to be looking for wedding rings at that time. But once again, nothing new or overwhelming. Yes, new to the jury, but not to anyone who's really been following this case for the last 3 years. Then the prosecutors asked the detective to identify wedding photos for the jury. That's right. Not of the detectives, but Chad and Lori's photos where they were standing in front of the Latter-day Saint Temple in Hawaii. A couple of images of Chad and Lori in a dance pose on the beach in Hawaii. We've seen it all. And who says there still isn't love in the world? The next slides that were shown were for the Lollytime Forever Gmail account through March of 2019 through December of 2019. And in May, the user searched, like I said, for the malachite. On July 21st, the user searched for Gerber Life Policy, life insurance for children. the Grow Up Plan. On July 26, 2019, the user searched Phoenix Pet Service, Craigslist, cell service for dogs, Little Angel service dogs for sale, offerings Phoenix. On August 25th, the user searched wedding bands made of malachite. On September 20th, the user searched Kennedy Elementary, Rexburg, Idaho phone number, define possesses. On September 24th, 2019, the user searched Kennedy Elementary, Rexburg, Idaho phone number. On September 30th, the user searched how to get the back seat of my Jeep out. Jeep Wrangler, JK rear seat removal, how to DIY YouTube. October 2nd, they searched the Gilbert, Arizona News. On October 22nd, the user searched wedding dresses in Kauai. The next bit of evidence that was introduced was Chad Daybell's Gmail account and searches for him from October of 2018 through November of 2019. 2019, he searched Ned Schneider, Louisiana obituary. March 3rd of 2019, he searched the June 26th star sign. Are Cancer and Leo compatible? May 4th sign, Taurus and Leo. Maybe somebody can let me know if those are compatible signs. On May 5th, 2019, the user searched malachite, eBay, malachite jewelry. June 1st, 2019, they searched Hiplos. On July 9th, the user searched when you surprise someone with accusations. On September 28th, 2019, the user searched SSW wind. What is the definition of SSW wind? On October 8th, 2019, search Rhode Island area codes. Yes, it goes on and on. But once again, let's get to when the children were actually killed and by whom. And what solid evidence do you have that they was there? Yes, these two are, in love apparently, and they're planning to be together. Is that enough to say that they actually killed their wife and children? Let me know in the comment, and let me know if those are compatible signs. Just let me know. Next on the docket, Bryan Kohberger. Does he have issues with females? Now, we've talked about this before, but it's coming back again because, as we know, the graduate student was charged back in December with the stabbings of Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Zaina Kernodle, and Zaina's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, back on November 13th of 2022. Now, Kohberger was also let go from his graduate program, and however, it was not for his alleged involvement of the killings. Nope, former colleagues have now come forward and stated that he was known for making snide comments towards women in the program in which he was teaching. Kohberger allegedly told females at WSU that men would take all of their jobs because they were not as smart. Other sources, some anonymous, claim that multiple people filed complaints against Mr. Kohberger after he graded females a little more harshly than he did male students. Now, like I said, Kohberger was let go in December of 2022 after he had not made progress regarding professionalism. Specifically, Kohberger was alleged that he had an altercation with the professor that he was assisting. So, like I said, this has come up before. Another person has come forward now again and said Kohberger had women's issues. Okay, you got to go with this with a little bit of grain of salt. Now, obviously, we'll give Mr. Kohberger the presumption of innocence, like everyone accused of a crime is so entitled. And you have to be cautious because when an allegation comes out, then everybody says, oh, somebody did this to me, somebody did that to me. Oh, this must have some nefarious explanation to it. No, it doesn't. You just have to wait and see. Maybe the people that wrote the papers, we haven't seen them. Maybe they were just garbage papers, okay? I taught many, many years ago in a criminal justice program at now what is a university. And you would not believe some of the garbage that was submitted by students at the time. And I mean garbage. You wondered where they learned to write. So, and it wasn't uncommon for some people to come and say, well, I really need to get a B in this class. What can I? Yeah, I'm telling you, I take that with a huge grain of salt. I'm more interested in what evidence are they going to let us see in his case to see whether he's innocent or, in fact, guilty. Next, that early release doesn't work out so well for some. Meet Justin Giambanco. He's been serving a 4.5-year sentence for burglary when he was released early from prison after serving just 18 months. And what did he do after his release in October 2022? Well, it wasn't long before he was in trouble with the law again. He was arrested on April 15th of charges of battery of a police officer and trespassing. Now, despite his somewhat violent nature of the arrest, he was once again released on bond the following day. Since his release in the fall of last year, Giambanco has resumed a pattern of behavior that has got him sent to jail back in April of 2021. In total, he has 22 felony charges along with 24 misdemeanor charges to his name. He's a suspect in several burglaries in Palm Bay region, but is alleged in connection to a latest murder in the area that may see him jailed for a little bit longer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've said this before. Yes, people should get some credit for doing good time in jail. If you behave the rules, I get it, yes, but you shouldn't be entitled to it. And past performance is indicative of future results. But if you just release somebody to the streets, they have no money, they have no job, they have no training, they're going to revert right back to what they were doing. So if you're going to let them out, hopefully you give them some educational skills. But let's face it, the defendant in this particular case, Mr. Giambanco, needs to take a little self-responsibility here and make sure he doesn't go out and commit crime. There are lots of things you can do that don't involve assaulting a peace officer. Just saying. Let me know.
As a pet owner, you want to give your furry friend the very best. That's why Baked in Colorado's CBD-infused dog treats are the perfect choice. These delicious treats not only taste great, but they also provide a wide range of health benefits for your pet. CBD has been shown to have many positive effects on dogs, including reducing anxiety, alleviating pain and inflammation, and improving overall wellness. Baked in Colorado's treats are infused with premium, full-spectrum CBD oil, meaning your pet will benefit from the whole plant extract. Not only that, but Baked in Colorado's treats are made with all-natural human-grade ingredients, so you can feel good about what you're giving your pet. They're also free from wheat, corn, and soy, making them a great option for dogs with food sensitivities. Baked in Colorado CBD-infused dog treats are the perfect way to support your pet's health and well-being. With various flavors including peanut butter, pumpkin, and bacon, your dog will love them too. So why wait? Head to www.bakedincolorado.com today and order your dog a bag of these delicious and nutritious treats. Your pet will thank you for it.
And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Please meet Mr. Jorge Diaz Vega. He was questioned by the Orange County detectives in Florida on March 31st after someone observed him recording a woman, and it appeared to be without her consent. I wonder what he could be recording. Well, according to the investigators, Mr. Vega admitted to recording an upskirt video of the woman. And he also admitted to having over 500 upskirt videos of random women that he was recording at a theme park that he worked at. Oh yeah, Disneyland. Yep, he allegedly told deputies that he had been taking videos up the dresses and skirts at the Disney theme park for at least the last 6 years. Now, Mr. Vega specifically worked in the Star Wars retail store, and the suspect claimed he took the videos because it was hard to find them online. And well, they bring him great satisfaction and gratification. His words, not mine, ladies and gentlemen. He called it a guilty pleasure. All right, so if you've been to the Star Wars down there in Disney World, you may want to see if you recall what you were wearing that day. Just saying. It can happen to anybody, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time on Crime Talk.